Welcome back. Today we're revisiting the girl who was already sitting on a movie set at 9 years old, watching her famous aunt work, years before anyone knew she'd built an entirely separate legacy of her own. Emma Roberts didn't just stumble into Hollywood. She was born into it. The daughter of actor Eric Roberts and niece of Julia Roberts, one of the most celebrated actresses alive. Her very first film role came in 2001's Blow, playing the daughter of Johnny Depp's character at just 9 years old. But here's what most people don't realize: that early exposure could have easily made her career feel inherited rather than earned. Instead, she spent the next 2 decades proving otherwise. Her real breakthrough came in 2004, starring as Addie Singer in Nickelodeon's Unfabulous, a role that made her a household name for an entire generation of kids, and even led to her own soundtrack album the following year. From there, she carved out something unexpected, becoming Nancy Drew in the 2007 film adaptation, then transforming completely into what critics eventually nicknamed her, the Scream Queen, through a string of horror and thriller roles. Her long-standing creative partnership with producer Ryan Murphy became one of the defining relationships of her career, spanning American Horror Story, from Coven all the way through Delicate, and leading her franchise, Scream Queens, on Fox. But her personal life carried its own quiet complexity. She was engaged to her AHS co-star Evan Peters from 2016 to 2019, a relationship that played out largely under public scrutiny. She later married actor Garrett Hedlund in 2019, and the two welcomed their son Rhodes in 2020. By 2022, the marriage had ended in divorce, something Roberts has handled with notable privacy, focusing publicly on nothing but co-parenting and stability for her son, rather than addressing tabloid speculation. Here's a detail that surprised even longtime fans this year. After building her career largely through television, Roberts recently signed with UTA for representation, positioning for an entirely new chapter. And in a full-circle move nearly 20 years in the making, she's returning to Aquamarine, the 2016 film that helped launch her career, this time not just acting but executive producing its new Disney Plus series adaptation. Now 35, running her own book club, raising her son largely outside the spotlight, and continuing to reinvent her career on her own terms, Emma Roberts has quietly built something her famous last name never guaranteed her. A legacy that's entirely her own. From a 9-year-old on a film set with a famous last name, to a woman still evolving her career decades later, her story was never about living in anyone's shadow. It was about proving she never needed to.